Easter eggs at Universal Islands of Adventure. This video will mainly cover Jurassic Park and Marvel, my two favorite sections of the park. The adventure begins. Once you enter the park and pass by a few shops across the water is the Jurassic World Velocicoaster at a height of 155 feet, an 80-degree drop, 4 inversions, and 4,700 feet of track. You zip around over this bridge and hit the infamous Mosasaurus roll, which you can see in the line for the roller coaster. Besides the roller coaster, you can find velociraptors throughout the queue, and you can find a stone top hat. Also, the lighting goes to the music, and you can find Blue, Echo, Delta, Charlie, and you can see the coaster launch with velociraptors chasing it inside of this room. And you can spot a live velociraptor before you get on the ride. Beside Velocicoaster is the Jurassic Park Discovery Center, which has skeletons of the T-Rex, the pterodactyl. There's also a brontosaurus skeleton that's beside the T-Rex. You can also find other dinosaurs, another T-Rex, a brachiosaurus. There is a store that has a brontosaurus statue. Inside the statues, different stuffed animals of brachiosaurus, triceratops, and some more stegosaurus. All of these stuffed animals would be great souvenirs for Universal Orlando. Inside the Jurassic Park Discovery Center, the experience shifts from adventure to discovery. The building itself is inspired by the Visitor Center from Jurassic Park, designed to feel like a functioning facility where science behind Jurassic Park is still happening. In the nursery, that idea becomes something you can actually interact with. Guests aren't just observing, they're part of the process, holding a dinosaur egg, scanning it, and seeing what's developing inside creates the illusion that these creatures are still being studied and cared for in real time. And throughout the rest of the Discovery Center, that same attention to detail continues. Interactive exhibits, DNA displays, and lab-style environments all work together to blur the line between attraction and reality, making it feel less like a visit and more like stepping into the world of Jurassic Park itself. Also, DNA sequencing, which is very interesting. I couldn't figure out how to work it, but it says brain scan, and then beside it says DNA scan, which I'm guessing you're trying to merge yourself with a dinosaur, kind of like a little bit of fusion. But with these different samples over here in the greenish tint was kind of reminding me of a very famous superhero, the Hulk. The Incredible Hulk coaster can be seen across the park from the Velocicoaster queue. This coaster launches at the speed of 67 miles per hour upwards, and it falls at 110 feet. And with 7 inversions, a 0G roll, cobra roll, 2 vertical loops, and a corkscrew, this is intense with 3,700 feet of track. This roller coaster duration is 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Hulk is one of the most intense roller coasters at this park, and also one of the funnest. When you're inside the Marvel area, you can continue to see the Incredible Hulk roller coaster in the background. Also, when you're going around, there's comic book characters from Marvel, with different teams like Avengers, Fantastic Four, the X-Men, and the list continues on. The Marvel superhero world at Universal's Islands of Adventure is designed to feel like you've stepped directly into a comic book. When the park opened in 1999, Marvel wasn't the global movie powerhouse it is today. So this land is rooted entirely in the classic comic style. The artwork you see throughout this area is inspired by legendary artists like Jack Kirby and John Romita, which is why everything feels bold, colorful, and larger than life. And because of Universal's long-standing agreement, even after the Walt Disney Company acquired Marvel Entertainment, this version of Marvel has remained mostly unchanged, turning it into something of a time capsule. Every story started somewhere. Long before the screens and the rides, over decades, Marvel Comics has built a universe for tens and thousands of comic issues, each one adding another layer to the world we see today. Walking into a shop like this feels like stepping back to the origin of it all. But the stories don't stay on shelves. Even outside, the world continues, with hidden details like Doctor Doom placed nearby, almost as if he's still part of a story unfolding around us. There are other characters in Universal, such as a Harry Potter creature. It's Dobby's kind that is pulling up the window. Also, you can find the dragon on top of Gringotts Bank shooting fire. Beside Memphis, a very famous restaurant, there is a place that used to be Poseidon's Fury. And you can find the Poseidon itself. You can find the Mystery Machine from Scooby-Doo, which has 4 movies, by the way, 4 live-action movies. This looks like the one from it. And you can find Scooby Snacks. You can see myself looking into the Mystery Machine. Also Elton John, Ray Charles, and then you can see across the Universal and find the train from Back to the Future 3. This is where he says, Back to the Future? Nope, I've already been there. Also, you can find the DeLorean from the very first movie. This is pretty much the exact replica. It's definitely very close. One of the best movies you can watch in the 80s for sure. Back to the Future. You can find both the train and the DeLorean if you want to see these in person. Also, one of the famous roller coasters there, Hagrid's. Whenever you're in the queue, you can find some real Easter eggs. They're actually dragon eggs, unlike the dinosaurs. And you can find Hagrid's hut whenever you're waiting for like 2 hours. But it's worth the wait. You get to see a lot of cool things. Race Through New York has Jimmy Fallon and all the other hosts on the wall. And a camera that's the last standard definition camera used by NBC. Also, in the Harry Potter section in Hogsmeade, whenever you go by Honeydukes, there is a secret entrance to a literal hallway. And in this hallway, there is a lot of nice treats, like chocolates, ice cream, and many more. And the 3 broomsticks, you can see pigeons up in the top. I was watching them with my butterbeer. In Diagon Alley, you can find a tall owl structure with nests for owls that look lifelike and as they turn their heads. Parks like this aren't just rides, they're stories. You got the epic scale of Marvel, the raw adventure of Jurassic. But what really makes it special are the details hiding in plain sight. The Easter eggs, the small callbacks, the things you only notice if you're really looking. It's like the park is quietly telling you there's more to this world than what you see on the surface. And honestly, that just makes me want to come back and explore it all over again.